So it's time to finish off the last of the cab repairs. So following on from the last video, I pretty much cut out this floor pan off camera, fabricated a new one, and the reason being is essentially I wanted to get into this section here. I've been able to tip the cab upright so all the kind of crap and debris has come out of it, i.e. the sand out of the lower part. And also it allowed me to get my torch in to find if there was any pinholes in this section, which there was. There was a couple of small ones. So I've gone around with a TIG, welded those up, epoxy primed inside and outside. And it's basically time to get the floor pan in. So the floor pan has been built and done off of camera. We've got the swage lines here. I don't know if that the camera can pick that up very well. But basically it matches the other side. We've put in all kind of the spot weld holes. Are going to have to weld it like the other side, so we're going to spot weld it. We're going to have to seam weld all the way around there and a few other little stitch welds. Again, it'll be the same process once it gets into paint. It's all going to be seam sealed and wrapped, so you won't notice where this floor pan's been put in. But on that video, we're going to get the floor pan in. We're going to finish off all the cab repairs. So the only other things left are both doors. So we've got the door skins there, as you can see on the camera. We've got door skins, obviously. Not that I can open the door because the welder's in the way. We've got the bottoms of the doors as well that are completely rotted through. So yeah, anyway, let's just crack on, get the floor pan in, crack on with the rest of it, and hopefully by the end of this video, the cab will be complete. Some 3mm gussets. Essentially these are just going to be welded in like this, and the reason being is it's going to pick up on the inside skin. So there's a skin on the inside here, and obviously it's going to strengthen up this corner here. Now on the vehicle this isn't really relevant, but for moving it around the garage this is pretty much a weak point at the minute. So I'm going to weld that in like that, do the other side, and then I'm going to get on to plating the rest of the floor and looking at the other bits. So I'm going to quickly freehand this video. I'm going to spin the camera around and show you the start of the door bottoms, but as you can kind of see already, a bit smelly. So this is what the door bottom looks like. We've removed the outer skin lip, a couple of spot welds, and then tried to bend it back. Now obviously this outer skin's knackered anyway, as you can see by looking at it down here. So we've got a couple of bits of rot. I've made sure that I'm a good, 10 to 15 mil away from that. So this all should be, in theory, good metal. We're not going to know until obviously we cut it out, but we're going to replace the lower, very, very lower section of the door skin. Now, the annoying thing is it's not a straight panel. It looks like a straight panel, but it's not. It's got like a curving, like, I mean, obviously that's exaggerated, but it's kind of like a curve like this, which is going to make it a bit of a pain to make, because we're going to have to roll it very slightly, and obviously we've got to do that with the return lip as well. So, not looking forward to that. But the plan is to cut this door bottom off. So we're going to cut through here, which obviously is going to cut into the inner, but obviously I can weld that back up when the outer's off. We'll do that both sides, cut that off, get the outer skin off, and then we're going to replace this lower bottom completely. Now, luckily it's not rotten up here. So the plan is to kind of weld in a section that's basically just going to plate the bottom completely. So just replace this whole section here. I don't know whether I'm going to go all the way back. I don't think I will. I think what I'll do is I'll split it at the spot welds, cut it off, and then I've got something to kind of weld to, i.e. like its original. So that's the plan with that side. The other side I'm going to obviously do afterwards. And again, it's the same process. So obviously the bit itself, as you can see, isn't going to be too high either. So I'll be able to do like a fairly low kind of repair. And then that should in theory be both the doors done. The only other thing, while I've got the camera on this kind of free-for-all, just moving about in my hand, the other little thing that I've done is made some little access holes. So they're basically cut out to be able to get the last of the crap that's in there, i.e. sand, and there were some random bits of metal as well, which weren't from me, some really old bits of metal in there, probably from a previous restoration. But yeah, essentially those are now all cleaned out. So all this pocket that goes all the way up here and then back through here to the sections I've made should all be empty. We've blown it through with the airline. So those essentially just going to be, we're going to spray some epoxy primer in there as far as you can get it round. Then we're going to weld it back up, and then obviously at a later date we're going to wax all the hell out of it. We're just going to fill the whole lot with wax all both sides. But that's to stop the sand. The only place now I think I've got sand is this section here. Annoyingly, it's a very, very good section, so I don't really want to be cutting it to get an access hole in there, but I may have to in the centre or something. I'm going to try and get the airline up, down, left, right, everywhere, but it still is dropping sand at the minute, so that's annoying. But everything else doesn't have sand in, other than the doors will. But that's the plan with it now, so we're going to put it on time lapse and get these bottoms done. Job is a good one, hopefully. So let's get these door bottoms done. So where are we? Other than me changing my outfit and the garage having a bit of a swing around, we are pretty much done on the metalwork of the cab. Now there's a few little things that I need to do, i.e. the steering column mount. I can't really do that until the frame's built because I want to know exactly where the steering column's going, because it may turn out that the steering rack is behind kind of the cab and I may have to tilt stuff and whatnot. I don't know where any of that's going at the minute. Same with the handbrake lever and all that. So there is a little bit of metal work, but bodywork wise it's pretty much done. I'm kind of ready for some 2K epoxy once I've done a day's worth of sanding and prep. Once the 2K epoxy is done, it's going to be a case of doing some very light bits of filler, just where there's kind of seam lines, seam sealing, getting it ready for the 2K red coat. I'm going to use a 2K red coat as a base, and then I'm going to patina over the top of that, and then eventually going to do a nice glass clear coat over the top. But that's a lot further on. So for the time being, the next kind of stage while the cab is like this is to build the floor mounts, i.e. where they're going to mount to the chassis. So the front ones are going to go in the usual place, which is down here. There's some holes already, so the front two are fine. The rear two, obviously I've replaced the floor, so I'm going to have to remake those mounting sections. Once these 4 mounts, which I'm using, are Rover V8 mounts, they're just standard Rover V8 mounts as you can see. Once they're kind of mounted, I'm going to use this CDS bender, which is obviously for the roll cage, and I'm going to bend up kind of a frame that's going to attach basically the other side of these mounts. At the minute, it's going to be free floating in the air, but when I do the chassis, what that's going to allow me to do is weld it then directly to the chassis, take the cab off, and then I've got a nice tubular kind of support section, base, whatever you want to call it, on top of the chassis. It's going to just be able to drop this cab on and off very nicely. So that's the plan. I'm going to start bending some CDS up now. Going to do this, going to get on with it, and then hopefully I will have kind of the cab mount ready to go for the next video. So let's go. The end of the video, but I'm just going to show you guys what I've been making. So this section here is basically part of the actual chassis. It's going to be welded directly to the chassis rails, and then what's going to be able to happen is undoing the 4 bolts. So you've got 2 up here, 2 down here. By undoing those, the body will be able to be lifted away. So this is obviously going to stay fixed to the chassis. You've got the rubber mounts, which are Rover V8 engine mounts in between. And then the body work will be able to be lifted away from that completely. Now, it is going to be a C-section, although it's a complete kind of square at the minute. This bottom bar here is only tacked in temporarily. It's just to keep the width correct, and obviously it's going to aid me when I come to mount it. Additionally as well, I'm going to be welding on some bits of straight CDS tomorrow. I'm going to do this off camera, but we're going to weld on some legs onto it temporarily to be able to then weld a bit of box section to it. So I could tip the whole cab up, sit it on a box section, or sit it on some dollies, something like that. And it's going to allow me to kind of do the body work as and when I need to. So that's the plan with it for the time being. Hopefully in the next video, I'm going to be able to get on to hopefully prepping this floor for paint, underneath the dash for paint, doing those areas first, and then I can roll it over and start doing kind of the inside and the outside of the cab itself. So that's the plan. Hopefully see you in the next video to see whether the plan is actually forming into something, because I'll probably change my mind again, as I always do. But just want to say thank you for watching the video so far. Hopefully see you in the next video, and peace out.